Why do I hate Cloud 805? I don't hate Cloud 805 at all. All I said is that his viewers all act like they've smoked 9 marijuanas a day. He just cultivates a certain crowd around him, you know? That's all. I'm a big Cloud fan. I always have been. People think you talking is just a Sajam impression. I feel for you up-and-coming commentators. This is a topic I was going to talk about on my YouTube video. I feel for the Jake Ryans of the world and the Sammy Fishes and all the up-and-coming commentators. Are you watching this, Moss? Get this one down. I feel like this is my secretary. I'm like, put this one down. Today's paper. I feel for the up-and-coming commentators because they just get so much shit. It's just the way it goes, right? It's just the way it goes as a commentator. They're just gonna talk a lot of shit, right? It doesn't matter who you are. Because my favorite example is like I was watching SCR this year. I did SCR for CPT this year, right? That was great. Just did CPT. I didn't have that much work. I think I commentated like 8 or 9 hours, and then I had top 8 for Dragon Ball, which I just did chilling. They asked me to do it on the last minute. I was free that Sunday. I was like, no problem. Dragon Ball top 8, let me knock this bad boy out, right? Just fucking knock that bad boy out. No problem. Chilling. I had a nice and easy SCR. Meanwhile, Sammy Fish, I look over, I didn't even see him have a break all weekend. He commentated 20 hours that weekend at SCR, right? And I'd open the chat room and I'd be watching the stream or something when I was at home and I didn't have to be there yet or something, or I'd see Discord messages or tweets or something like that. And it would just be like, fucking, I hate Sammy Fish. He's a knockoff Sajam. Fuck this guy. Jake Ryan gets on commentary. Where's Sajam? Where's Yipes? Where's Chris Matra? Like, where are all these other people, right? Just people talking awful shit about these other human beings that have families and feelings and, you know, have contributed their lives and time to doing commentary on the stream. And it just cracks me up, man. It makes me laugh so much. I can't help it. It makes me laugh, right? Not that I don't sympathize with you guys. It makes me laugh because I do sympathize. Especially the Sammy Fish comments. It is cracking me up. I'm like reading the chat. And they're like, this fucking Sammy Fish guy has been on all weekend. I hate his guts. He's just a knockoff Sajam. That's what they said, right? Just a knockoff Sajam. Why don't we get Sajam instead? Blah, 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 all this shit. And it just cracked me up because I remember doing SCR in 2016, 2 years ago. And I did like 20 hours of commentary. I looked over at CPT and they had all these breaks. They're chilling. They had a commentary rotation. I was like, what? Like, they had all this shit at SCR in 2016. I did so much. Or was it 2015? 2015, 3 years ago. I did the Rising Thunder exhibition. I did KI. I did fucking MKX. I did like fucking Street Fighter team tournament. Like, I did 20 hours of commentary at SCR. Like, I was just exhausted. You know what I mean? I was fucked up. And I just look at the chat the whole time. The chat room's like, fuck Sajam. Why is he on so much? He's just an awful Ultra David knockoff. Like, fuck, I hate this guy, Sajam, right? And, like, you're just reading the chats. All this shit, right? There's all this shit. And then 3 years later, I'm just chilling at SCR reading the chat. And they're like, fuck this guy, Sammy. He's a fucking Sajam knockoff and fucking all this shit. I'm like, whew, boy. I wonder who 3 years from now will be the Sammy Fish knockoff doing commentary at SCR. SCR 2021. There'll be some guy. I fucking hate this guy. Where's Sammy Fish? Get him on the mic. It just cracks me up. Yeah, fuck this guy. Where's Jake Ryan? You know what I mean? It's just great. That's just the life of an up-and-coming commentator. You know, some of the up-and-coming commentators are great. Some of them will end up being on big events and productions and get lots of work. And some of them will stop because people are just assholes, or maybe they don't think they're good enough, or they move on to do something else, right? Just depends on what they're interested in and whether they continue to improve or not. But it's just like, it just cracks me up reading the chat room. Oh man, the irony there is just incredible, right? It feels so good. It just warms my heart seeing other people suffer like I did. It's great. Oh man, I hope SCR was good for you guys though. It was great to me. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just telling you the absolute truth about how this works. But you guys have it better than we did, to be fair. You know, when we started doing commentary full time, they'd be like, all right, we're going to give you a tuna fish sandwich and a tin can. And, you know, this is your lives. This is what you guys get for the weekend. You guys are going to do 20 hours of commentary, no top 8s. And you guys just get fucked. And, like, you know, that shit just sucked. Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, it's not like we were the ones that, you know, were doing great. Way before us, there was like James and David doing commentary, and they weren't even getting a fucking tuna sandwich. They were getting like a shoestring and a slice of bread. And then now, like, you know, it got a little better for us. And then now it gets a little better for, you know, the people in the future. That's the goal. I think now if someone had as much work as I did my first year when I was doing full-time commentary, they'd be way better off than I did. I was like, fucked. I was like, man, I hope I get hired this weekend or I'll be homeless. That'd be great. But now somebody will be, you guys will be fine. You guys will have no problems. You just get jobs. They'll pay you well. They'll be like, oh, you're a commentator? Here's your rate for the day. You'll be like, what? You guys are going to pay me money? Yeah. It was the Wild West before. Things are a lot better now. Commentary pools? Yeah. It's basically what it is. Commentators are a lot like players in that sense that you have to work your way up. I was talking to JB about that. That much like players, commentators start out in pools. Commentators get the pools brackets. And then eventually you move up and you get a semis bracket. You're like, holy shit, I made it to semis. And then one day you make it to top 8 and you're like, fuck. And maybe it's not it's like a top 8 of a local or a regional. You're like, holy shit, I made top 8 as a commentator, right? And then you get the big ones and then the big ones, and then there's Evo top 8. You're like, oh shit, this is it. I've ascended. This is the top right here. This is wild. Then you get on TV, and then your family's like, wow, you made it to TV. I wonder if you sucked a bunch of dick to get there. And you're like, whoa, it's not that kind of television. There was no casting couch. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's how it works. It's a lot like playing, right? Where you have to work your way up. And much like playing, when you have an event on a Sunday and you have nothing. You know what that feeling is like as a player, right? Where you just wake up on Sunday and top 8 for your game is happening and you're not playing in it. Feels bad, dude. It feels so bad. Especially if you get like 9th or 13th place and you're like, son of a bitch. You know what I mean? That's what it's like. You're 9th or 13th place and you didn't make it to top 8. Feels bad. When I wake up at an event on Sunday and I have no work, feels bad. It feels like I drowned in semis. I drowned in commentary semis. My Street Fighter Evo at 2017 was so amazing. Talking about top 8, my voice was shot to shit. I threw everything I had into that top 8. Who am I roasting? I'm not roasting anybody. I'm just talking about commentary. My voice is pretty shot by the end of that. I had done a lot of last 2 Evos, I think, yeah, 2016, 17, and 18 Evos, I've done a lot of commentary. Evo is usually, there's a few events a year which are like my 20-hour weekends, right? Where I just dump 20 hours of commentary into 2 or 3 days. Like mostly it's 20 hours in 2 days and then a top 8 on Sunday. That's like that. He baited the throw. Yeah. That's a line people talk about a lot. I didn't really think about it. I say that line all the time.